I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist, and this is Equal Entertainment. The score is To and Plenty of Love for Serena Williams and her husband, Alexis Ohanian. The couple is celebrating the birth of their second child, and it's a girl. Ohanian announced the arrival of Adira River Ohanian on Instagram. The post features a series of family photos with the newborn. He says both mom and baby are happy and healthy. Williams publicly shared she was expecting another baby in May at the famed Met Gala in New York City. The tennis legend and Ohanian married in 2017, the same year their daughter Alexis Olympia Ohanian Jr., who goes by Olympia, was born. Fyre Fest will be remembered for all the wrong reasons, but it appears the failed festival and its founder want another go at it. Let me explain. Billy McFarland spent 4 years in prison after he pleaded guilty to wire and bank fraud. He organized Fyre Fest in the Bahamas in 2017. Concertgoers paid thousands of dollars for a chance to meet celebrities, eat great food, and vacation on the island. But when they arrived, they found something vastly different from what they were promised. Celebrities backed out, and fans say they were cheated out of their money. McFarland left prison last year, and he's planning Fyre Festival 2 in the Caribbean next year. He says the first batch of tickets is sold out. He also says this time revenue from the sales will be held in escrow until a final date is announced. Music producer and manager Scooter Braun is losing some of his biggest clients. Split with Taylor Swift is well known. We reported Demi Lovato is searching for new management after splitting from Braun. EW also reported that Ariana Grande has parted ways with him. He also lost reggaeton star J Balvin earlier this year, and Idina Menzel recently cut ties with Braun. On top of that, sources say Justin Bieber is close to leaving Braun as well. But Bieber and Braun have both denied the report. The Force is strong in the Star Wars universe. Ahsoka is bringing the animated world of Star Wars Rebels to live-action life. The series is now streaming on Disney+. It's a big-budget show that would normally get the red carpet treatment. But because of the writers' and actors' strikes, Disney and Lucasfilm invited fans to screen the series for events in New York, Orlando, Hollywood, and other locations. And yes, the fans are excited. Rosario Dawson transforms into the iconic lead character Ahsoka, and there are some other familiar faces. Here's a sneak peek.
On our show, the story goes in places you can't imagine with new characters you've never seen in live action before.
Rosario brings people together. She's a perfect leader of the show.
In this story, Ahsoka hears whispers of the Empire returning, and she decides to enlist Hera's help.
We have to prepare for the worst. Hera Syndulla is the leader of the Ghost Crew. She's a pilot. Hera is such an incredible leader and fighter.
Mary's just great. I mean, every scene she's in was just awesome.
You and I both know who could help you with this. Oh my God, that is Sabine. Natasha's so perfect for the character.
Sabine's already a warrior and very proven, and she's Ahsoka's former apprentice.
You never made things easy for me, Master. I love Sabine. She struggles with her emotions. She's impulsive. I think she's just relatable. She's got good intentions, but she doesn't always make the right decision.
I love the complexity of the characters in this. They're a bit unpredictable. They're all struggling with a set of circumstances, and they need each other.
Buckle up.
This is so powerful. This is provocative, exciting, and fun. I can't wait for people to watch it.
We have a lot of work to do.
Once a rebel, always a rebel.
Out actor Stephanie Beatriz has been making us laugh for years on Brooklyn 911. Now she stars in the post-apocalyptic series Twisted Metal. I spoke with Beatriz before the actors' strike about working with Anthony Mackie and addressing issues of power and privilege. I want to say congratulations on Twisted Metal, and it's really a fun ride, and but also kind of a serious ride. And I wonder, would you talk a little bit about your initial reactions to seeing this story and also Quiet on the Page?
Yeah. Well, I read all 10 episodes basically in one sitting. My agents sent me, this like they're casting this series. It's called Twisted Metal. It's executive produced by Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick. And I was like, stop there. That's that dark black comedy that I love. It's like right on the edge of like, I cannot believe we just all laughed at that. And I raced through those scripts. Our showrunner and writer, Michael Jonathan Smith, is just so talented, and he really assembled a team of writers that got the tone.
Mm-hmm.
They just locked in on that, like right in the middle ground of, there's stuff that happens in this series that feels really heavy, but there's also stuff that is so silly and goofy.
Right.
And I think the balance of those two things is phenomenal. And I also just really loved that, it was going to be two people of color that were going to be leading this series in this post-apocalyptic world. I thought that was so phenomenal. I think Anthony Mackie his career is like incredible. He's done such incredible work, and his art really runs the gamut of all sorts of genres. And he's just an incredibly talented actor. So I really jumped at the chance to audition for this, and I was thrilled when I booked it, and every step of the way it was really, really phenomenal.
Yeah, incredible. Well, thank you very much for that. The series is very funny and has these silly moments, but the whole premise of this kind of apocalyptic world where people who were alleged criminals for God knows what are kind of exiled, and then all these, people who can pad themselves with lawyers and whatever are on the inside. And so obviously that's an incredible insight into the way our criminal justice system works. And I wonder if you would speak to that piece of this series.
I would say, I'm really interested in that reading of it. I think there is definitely, the show is saying something about who has power and how they wield that power and how they get that power. Sometimes it's through force, sometimes it's through money, sometimes it's through their own intellect, sometimes it's through just like sheer will. And sometimes it's through like how big they are and how many people they can smash. And so I think the idea of like aligning it with like criminal justice or maybe even like, I don't know, the imbalance of access to money, healthcare, opportunity, right. I think without spoiling anything, I don't want to give too much away about Quiet's backstory, but Quiet doesn't have a lot of opportunities where she's from. And I think there's scenes in this series that you could pluck that scene out and it could be right now, the world that we're living in right now.
Yeah.
I think that's really valuable to explore in art. The kind of stuff that we do, like, can create change. You're starting to think about these ideas in different ways, and you're doing it in this way of like inside entertainment. And that's really valuable. It's like, there's like magic and alchemy when that happens. I think that's something that I can't speak for MJ, Michael Jonathan Smith, our writer and creator, but like, I can say that when I was reading it, I felt the hum of that throughout the series. It never hits you over the head, but it assumes that you're smart enough to figure it out, because I think the people that will want to watch the show are smart enough to figure stuff out while they watch it and have these kind of discussions.
The new Showtime limited series Fellow Travelers follows decades of queer life in America. It stars Matt Bomer, Jonathan Bailey, Jelani Aladdin, and Noah J. Ricketts, and they are also the cover stars of Out Magazine's September-October issue. The four came together prior to the actors' strike to serve up fantastic looks for Out. In the issue, they discuss how they built trust with one another to tell this story. Fellow Travelers is about chosen family and how that uplifts their lives when things get the hardest. You can read more about the series and the complexity behind it in the newest issue of Out Magazine. One institution you can always count on is the movies, and pretty soon about 3,000 theaters across the country are offering $4 tickets for National Cinema Day. AMC Theaters and Regal Movies are participating and offering discounted popcorn. It's part of a promotion sponsored by the National Cinema Foundation. All movies out in theaters are included in the deal. Last year's inaugural event saw 8 million people head to the movies. Go to nationalcinemaday.org to buy tickets or see if your theater is participating. You can watch The Advocate channel live by downloading our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. For The Advocate channel, I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist, and thank you for watching.